They thought they owned her because they owned the ranch. Every man believed her body was his to claim. But she was playing a game they could not see. Every touch was strategy. Every moan was manipulation. By the time they realized she owned them, it was too late. If this story opens your eyes, smash subscribe and comment who really had the power. This is 1970s Texas, where one woman turned desire into dominance. West Texas, summer of 1973. The Blackwood Ranch sprawled across 20,000 acres of dust and heat. 5 men ran it. Brothers, cousins, hired hands. All believed they were kings. Then Angelica arrived, and everything changed. Angelica was 26, curves that stopped hearts, eyes that promised everything. She arrived in a dusty bus claiming she needed work. The foreman hired her as cook without asking questions. Big mistake. She wore tight tops, short skirts, boots that showed her legs. She bent over counters unnecessarily. She licked spoons slowly. Every gesture calculated. The youngest brother Jake approached first. He was 23, shy but hungry. He asked if she needed help carrying water. She smiled and said yes. Led him to the well behind the barn where no one could see. She let him kiss her against the barn wall. Let his hands explore. Then stopped him. "You want more," she whispered. "I do too. But not here. Not where your brothers might claim me after. I choose who touches me." Jake was hers from that moment. He believed he was special. Believed she wanted only him. She rationed her touch like gold. A kiss here. A touch there. Always leaving him desperate. Always promising more tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. The foreman Marcus was next. Older, 42, thought himself wise. He cornered her in the pantry. Demanded she stop teasing his men. She unbuttoned her top slowly. "This what you want me to stop?" she asked. "Take it then." He did not take it. Could not. She had reversed power with 4 buttons. He backed away muttering apologies. She smiled and rebuttoned slowly. "Come back when you are man enough to match me." He left ashamed, wanting, owned. 3 months passed. Every man on the ranch wanted her. She gave each just enough to keep them desperate. A private word. A lingering touch. A promise of someday. The ranch descended into competition. Men fought over shifts near the house. But Angelica was not playing for pleasure. She was studying. Who had keys to what? Where money was kept? Which man could be manipulated furthest? She was planning escape with resources. Every flirtation was intelligence gathering disguised as desire. The oldest brother Samuel owned the ranch legally. He was 50, cruel, viewed women as property. He ignored Angelica for months. Then announced at dinner she would share his bed that night. Not asking. Commanding. The others fell silent. Angelica went to his room as ordered. He was waiting with whiskey and cruelty. She poured him drinks. Triple shots. He talked about owning her. Breaking her. She smiled and kept pouring. He passed out before touching her. She took his wallet. Next morning Samuel remembered nothing clearly. Believed they had sex. Angelica played along. "It was incredible," she lied. "You owned me completely." His ego accepted the false memory. He bragged to others. She had planted lie in patriarch's mind. Ultimate manipulation. Winter came cold and mean. Supplies ran low. Tempers shortened. The men fought more. Over her. Over money. Over respect. Angelica moved between them like ghost, inflaming everything, calming nothing, collecting what she needed from the chaos. Jake caught her stealing from Marcus's lockbox. Found her with cash and keys. His heart broke. "You've been using us," he said. She could have denied it. Instead she told truth. Yes. Every touch was transaction. Every smile was strategy. "I needed escape fund. You all provided it?" Jake could have exposed her. Should have. Instead he asked why. She told him about ranch she fled before this one. About men who bought women through marriage. About being sold at 15 to pay her father's debts. About escaping one prison only to need money for real freedom. Jake made choice. "Help me," she said. "Get me to Austin. I will disappear. You never see me again. But help me escape and I will remember you as the only good man here." He agreed. Not for her body. For her freedom. Actual goodness from unexpected source. They planned for 2 weeks. Jake stole truck keys. Angelica finished gathering money. Took 8,000 total from all 5 men over 8 months. Not illegal exactly. They gave it to her through bets, gifts, payments for favors never delivered. She earned it through performance. The night before planned escape, Samuel came to her room drunk and violent. Tried to force himself despite her resistance. She fought. He was stronger. Then Jake appeared with rifle. "Get off her." Samuel laughed. "You protecting my whore." Jake shot the wall above Samuel's head. "She ain't nobody's whore. She is leaving." Samuel backed off. Laughed cruelly. "You think you two can leave? I own this county. I will have sheriffs hunt you. You will hang for theft and I will have her anyway." Then Marcus appeared behind Samuel with shotgun. "No, you will not." Marcus looked at Angelica. "You fooled me. Made me want something I could never have. That was cruel. But what Samuel does to women is worse. Take the money. Leave. I will claim you stole nothing. She did not earn what she took, but I will lie for her anyway." They left that night. Jake drove Angelica to Austin. 5-hour drive through dark Texas. Nothing. They barely spoke. At Austin bus station, she gave him $1,000. "You earned this helping me." He refused. "Keep it. You need freedom more than I need money." She kissed his cheek. "You were the only real one." Jake returned to ranch. Told them Angelica ran off. Stole nothing. Just left. Samuel did not believe it but had no proof. Marcus backed Jake's story. Other men were heartbroken but accepted it. Ranch returned to normal. Sort of. They all remembered the woman who made them feel owned. Angelica used the money to buy small diner in New Mexico. Became business owner. Hired only women. Paid them fairly. Created safe space. Men came and flirted. She served them coffee and nothing else. Her body was no longer currency. Her beauty was just genetics. Her power came from owning something real. Years passed. She expanded diner to motel. Then bought gas station. Built small empire on money earned through manipulating men. She never married. Never needed to. Had lovers sometimes but always on her terms. Power through ownership, not seduction. Freedom through business, not bodies. Jake visited once, 1979. 6 years later. He was married, had baby daughter. He wanted Angelica to know he told his wife the truth. About helping a desperate woman escape. His wife admired it. He wanted Angelica to meet his daughter. To see proof that good men existed. She held the baby and cried. "Thank you for showing me goodness. I almost forgot it existed." But Angelica's peace did not last. Samuel found her in 1981. Walked into her diner with cold eyes. "You stole from me. You embarrassed me. I spent 7 years looking. Now I collect. He had 2 men with him. Planned to take everything. Destroy her. Reclaim ownership through violence. Angelica did not panic. She owned this town. She employed half the women. She knew the sheriff, the mayor, the judge. She called sheriff from her diner phone while staring at Samuel. She described 3 men trespassing and threatening. Sheriff arrived in 4 minutes. Arrested Samuel and his men. At trial, Angelica pressed charges. Harassment, trespassing, threats. She had witnesses. Samuel's history of violence came out. Other women testified about his abuse. He got 5 years. Angelica watched him sentenced. Felt no joy. Just relief. Monster caged. Freedom protected. Marcus showed up after trial. He had left Blackwood Ranch. Started own small spread. He came to apologize formally. For participating in system that made her use her body as weapon. For being man who desired her but did not protect her. She forgave him. You were better than most. That is worth something. Angelica never regretted her methods. She used what she had to escape what she could not survive. Her body was tool. Her beauty was weapon. Her intelligence was survival. She manipulated men because direct confrontation meant death. This was war she did not start but had to win. Regret was luxury she could not afford. She wrote book in 1985. Called it The Woman Who Owned the Ranch. Told her story honestly. How she manipulated men to escape slavery. How system sold women so she sold herself on her terms. How survival required weapons society gave women. Beauty. Sex. Deception. Book was controversial and best-selling. Critics called her immoral. Feminists were divided. Some said she empowered herself. Others said she reinforced objectification. She said both were right. I used objectification as tool because patriarchy made it my only tool. I regret system, not my survival. Blame culture that forces women to trade bodies for freedom. Not women who make that trade. Jake read her book. Called her. Said I am proud of you. Not for what you did. But for surviving. For winning. For telling truth. His daughter was teenager now. He wanted her to read Angelica's book. Learn how women survive. Learn to see manipulation as strategic resistance, not moral failure. Angelica said bring her to visit. More women came. Asking advice. Asking how to escape their own prisons. Angelica helped them. Money, contacts, plans. She became underground resource. She taught them what she learned. Document everything. Save money secretly. Build exit strategy. Use system against itself. Your body is yours. If you sell it, set your own price and keep the money. By 1990, Angelica was 43. Gray in her hair. Lines in her face. No longer the seductress. Just successful businesswoman. Men did not stare anymore. She loved it. Invisibility was freedom. Being past desirability meant being past objectification. Aging was liberation from beauty's prison. She welcomed every wrinkle as evidence of survival. Samuel got out of prison in 1986. Died of heart attack in 1991. Angelica did not attend funeral. Did not celebrate death. Just noted he was gone. Final threat eliminated. She planted tree at her motel that day. Not memorial to him. Memorial to her victory. Tree that would outlive them both. Marcus visited regularly until he died in 1995. They became genuine friends. Not lovers. Not business partners. Friends who survived same war on different sides. He apologized repeatedly. She said stop apologizing. We both did what we had to. You grew. That matters more than where you started. His last words to her were, "I am glad you won." Jake's daughter Elena went to college, then law school. Became lawyer specializing in women's rights. Cited Angelica's story as inspiration. Said Angelica taught her survival is not surrender. Using available tools is not weakness. Women should not be blamed for navigating system that oppresses them. Elena defended women in situations like Angelica escaped. The cycle continued. Survivor helping survivor. In 2000, Angelica was interviewed for a documentary about women in 1970s West. She was 53. She told her story again. Interviewer asked if she was proud of manipulation. She said, "I am proud I survived. My methods were not ideal. But neither was being sold at 15. Neither was escaping only to need money with no skills but cooking and being desired. I used what I had. Society regrets women having sexuality. I regret society that makes sexuality necessary for survival. Fix system, not survivors." Angelica sold her businesses in 2005. She had enough money. Enough security. She moved to coast. Bought small house. Lived simply. No more hustle. No more strategy. Just existence. She gardened. She read. She walked beach. She finally rested. No men pursued her. Age protected her. She was free in way young her could never imagine. Free from desire. From being desired. From having to weaponize her beauty. Just human. Finally. Jake visited with his grandchildren in 2008. 3 generations who knew Angelica's story. Teenagers asked if she regretted anything. She said, "I regret system made my story necessary. I regret other women did not have my options. I regret manipulation being required for escape. But I do not regret surviving. Never apologize for surviving even if survival was ugly. World makes survival ugly then blames survivors for being ugly. Refuse that blame." Angelica died peacefully in 2012, age 65. Not from violence. Not from poverty. Not as property. She died free. Her obituary said successful businesswoman, author, activist. Did not mention ranch. Did not mention manipulation. Did not mention survival strategy. Just accomplishments. Which was victory itself. Being remembered for what she built, not how she escaped. Her funeral was attended by hundreds. Women she helped. Women who read her book. Elena gave eulogy. She said, "Angelica taught us survival requires weapons. System denies women power, so women must take power however possible. She used beauty and sexuality not from corruption but from necessity. She survived prison that sold women. Then built empire that employed women. She was not saint. She was survivor. That is enough. That is everything." Angelica's story was not about sex. It was about power. About woman in system designed to own her. About using every tool to escape. About survival being more important than morality imposed by those who were never desperate. She owned nothing and became woman who owned everything. She was called whore for using her body and boss for building business from that money. She was blamed for manipulation and blamed for success. She was perfect victim until she won. Then she was villain. But she did not care. She was free. That was victory. That was the only thing that ever mattered. Her body. Her choice. Her rules. Her freedom. She owned them all. And in end, she owned herself. That was revolution.